Hello? Hello everybody. Wow. Time has gone really fast, hasn't it? Or is it just me? Life's just been full speed ahead lately. Already time for another reading. Wow. Okay. I'm not sure if this one was meant to change, because it seemed kind of weird that he started on the animal that he ended up with as a result. But I haven't looked into it. but if you've been following MewGulf for a long time, if you're a true Waanjai, or, well, if you're a loyal Waanjai who's been here for a long time, let's just say that, you would know that the animal sloth has a connection to MewGulf. So let me just say my opinion, because when I watched the clip the first time, and it started with sloth, and Mew decides to stick out his tongue, which really seems like, lately really seems like it's sort of like a nod or a hi there babe sort of thing through the camera for someone. Yeah, whoever you think it is up to you, but I certainly think it's for Gulf, along with many others, because Gulf is doing it a lot too. And yeah, it seemed like Mew wanted it to be like a subtle nod to Gulf at first, but then he lost it, and so did I, to be honest, when the result was sloth. He ended up being sloth as the end result, and it was like that whole TikTok video had become about the sloth or about Gulf all of a sudden, in my opinion. So that was funny. And then the other thing, well, actually, the reason I'm mentioning all these is because I really wanted to talk to you about where my head is at about these coincidences we have. See that one? The sloth one was probably those filters, unless I said it's not a changing one, usually are very random. You wouldn't know what result you're going to get. So, it's not like Mew could have planned that, is what I'm saying. Although him sharing it in the first place is something, because if I remember correctly, the few times I tried the filters on TikTok, you do have to agree to share it after you've done it. You could say, no, I didn't like that and I'm not going to share it after all. You can do that. So for him to share it anyway means to be general, and he would have thought, yeah, I can share that. So, to me that means that he's thought of, yeah, I know what people are going to think. I know what people are going to connect this to, but I'm going to share it anyway. That's probably something that goes through his head no matter what he ends up sharing. But then there are coincidences that we think, well, they must have planned it. Well, to an extent, perhaps. Let me go on to the next thing that we've noticed recently to put that into context. So, the same color and similar, or not similar, but somehow linked accessories. So, for example, and this was funny too, because my friends and I in our little group, we were thinking, this One Piece event is in Thailand. We saw it. We saw, the advertising for this One Piece before anything from Mew. And we were like, oh, Mew for sure will go to this. Just wait and see. And sure as we knew it, about one day or maybe 2 days later, there he is showing evidence that he went to that event or to that feature. It's not really an event because it's an ongoing thing, isn't it? And yeah, he happened to share, I don't know if he actually went physically to the thing on the day, but he shared it, he chose to share it on the same day that Gulf was going to the Channel 3 event, wearing his red shaded suit. I say shaded because it's not exactly red, but whatever color you want to think it is, maroon, red. And he had that brooch on, didn't he? Now the brooch, the thing is, if it was all planned, then you're thinking that Gulf's team is either watching Mew and his latest get inspiration for what Gulf can wear that will hint towards it, Or you're thinking that's if whether that they are in contact or not. Or you're thinking that they are in contact, and Mew's like, hey, Tuang, I'm going to go to this One Piece thing, so maybe you want to wear red that day. And then Gulf would tell his team that, by the way, Mew's going to this thing. If you find anything useful to link it to, it would have to be like that, wouldn't it? A lot of people would have to be involved. In my opinion, too many people would have to be involved to make it smooth and happen the way it does. So it just doesn't seem likely to me. Perhaps at the biggest possibility, his designer team gives him, he thinks, that looks like a sun or a sunflower, I think I'll wear that. Maybe it goes like that. But as for wearing red, maybe it was a lucky colour on the day, and that's why Mew chose to go that day. I don't know, because we don't get those calendars anymore for the good luck colours of the year. We don't seem to get that chart anymore from Mew or anybody. So unless you're in Thailand and who knows what colour it was, lucky day that day. But it could be an explanation for why they were wearing the same colour as well. So, those ones can be explained away to an extent of why they happen, those coincidences wearing the same thing. But what I want to talk about is the things that can't really be explained away. For example, the latest thing that's happened, Mew's tattoo. Now, because of the way nostalgic memories in the front of our minds, and, straight away we linked it to the signatures. Great. It's a great coincidence. But, no such thing as a coincidence in MewGulf's case, but, it is. But the thing is, do you really think that Mew went to choose the stars? Or was it more likely that something happened just naturally, like we saw the pages of star designs that Mew obviously chose from. They were all different types of stars, and he chose that one. He didn't come with his own design, because we actually saw, if you look back in the pictures that were shared, we actually saw a design where all the pages were shown, and that one was one of them. So here's my thinking. I'm thinking, well, if he didn't think about all that, if he's not like us Waanjai and has all these memories in the front of his signatures, it's very unlikely. It's very unlikely that that's how Mew and Gulf think from day to day, let's be honest. So it's more possible that when Mew was looking at these designs, something drew him to that design. Like when you're choosing something as permanent as a tattoo, like you're going to think about it a lot, but you're also going to sort of go with your instinct. Like, what do you get drawn to first? What does your intuition draw you to? And that's the point I wanted to make. It's very possible that this coincidence, or this link that Waanjai have spotted, is more likely a destined or a sign from the universe sort of coincidence than a planned one. And of course, Mew is going to think up a way to cover both ways. It's going to end up being a double meaning sign in the end. He's going to find a way to link it to him and Tool for the sake of shippers, for the sake of appearances, or maybe even for the sake of his own sanity, because he may truly think he's with the right person and he is in love with Tool still. He may not have really had that enlightenment yet that he's involved in either an illusion or a karmic relationship. So he could still think he's the right person, but that's a very small possibility next to he's just got to keep up. To get a tattoo for that reason? No, you wouldn't. So there's even if he's not aware of it, thing that links him to golf, that made him choose that. And luckily, Waanjai were quick to pick up on it. It's the signatures. That's probably why, not consciously, most likely, but unconsciously, he was drawn to that design, if that makes sense. Another example of this kind of coincidence that seems to just happen naturally, like it's not explainable that it was all planned, because too many people would have to be involved. And that's if I go back, I think it was 23 this happened. If we go back a little bit and we go into the Lido event. Does everybody remember Lido? Where by chance Mew was going to an event to promote his zombie movie, and his event was being held at a place called Lido, or Lido. And the same day, Gucci happened to be releasing a clothing line that included the same. I really think that was all planned. Do you think that, I don't know, Golf and Mew's team worked together to get Gucci to invent a clothesline that included the word Lido, so that on that day they could share it? Like, it just goes beyond. Do you know what I'm saying here? Too many people would have to be involved. Too many people would have to know that Mew and Golf are still in touch and not enemies to do this, and it doesn't agree with the current situation with him and Tool. So it just doesn't make sense that it's a planned thing. It makes more sense that it's a sign from the universe that they belong together in some way. And the universe wants to point that out, because it can't be seen straight off in public or on social media, especially if you're not a Waanjai. You can't see the connection. So the universe is like, no, people, you need to see this. There is a connection here between these two people. It's like that. It just keeps happening. It keeps happening over and over. And it's debatable, how many of these coincidences that we spot are planned. What's in control of Mew and Golf? Could it even be like the golden hour or the happy hour that they decide to go on IG? And they take turns, so it's not like it's just Golf's team trying to follow Mew and keep, something relevant. No, it happens both ways. So is it possible that they do text each other maybe privately and say, hey, I'm about to share this, make your team pay attention so that you can follow, or something like that? Maybe. Or maybe, like I said, it's just a matter of fate and destiny that, they keep saying it makes somebody, even if it's not Mew and Golf, because we have to remember that a lot of the media posts are done by their publishing teams and their promotion teams. It's not even them sometimes in person. So it's more like somebody gets drawn to do something out of intuition, out of instinct. They're just drawn to do something. So that makes more sense to me than going above and beyond with so many people, and yet it's still, being as believable as it is with the other situation. I don't think so. I don't think as many people are in on it as maybe I used to think. I think a lot of people are oblivious to the truth, unless they just don't question what they're being asked to do at times. I don't know. It just seems, no matter what, they are links and coincidences. But how they come about or who's behind them is still a mystery in most cases, right? So I've covered all the latest, and I covered that particular one I wanted to mention from the past. I think that's enough. We'll get on with the reading now. I also did that because some people were saying they were missing me just talking about what's happening in general. So I thought, I'll just spend a few minutes at first talking about that then. Where am I going? So we need this deck today, into it. I better change. Hang on. We'll work with this deck today for Intuit, and first of all we're doing MewGulf, aren't we? So we'll get their decks down. Okay. So checking in for MewGulf today. See how things going. Oh, it doesn't matter. Do that. All right. Hang on. Let me make sure I'll be able to do this properly. Okay. Now the chat is not working properly right now, so badly. I have to go here. Won't be able to highlight them for you guys, but let me just see what everybody's saying so far. Hello, good afternoon. Very difficult to watch your live channel. Oh, I'm sorry, is it bad quality? Internet. Nothing I can do about it. Sorry, guys. Excited about today's reading. So am I, Bruno. Yep, I just mentioned about the 2 stars. Tattoo. The first thing you said, when MT sticks out their tongue, is very different from when Golf does it. They always do it even when serious events and looks vulgar. Golf does it cute and small. I agree. Golf sort of pulls it off better when he does it. But it does seem to still link to Mew when he does it. It's like he chooses to do it in these moments that possibly, you know, he wants to get Mew's attention. Like, did you notice he did it when the one picture that he did with Smith, that Smith was actually, you know, hand around Golf? He chose to do it then. Was it a coincidence? Don't know. I think maybe, you know, for all the pictures floating around of him and Tool, perhaps Golf was being a little bit cheeky there and sort of, you know, oh, well, you're doing all those. Here's at least one from me, you know. What else are we saying? I'm a big fan of Golf, and I wish he had someone who truly loved him as a nightmare. Well, at the moment he seems to be, doesn't he? But there's got to be a reason why, if they're not connected in real life, why they keep being connected by the universe. There's got to be a reason, you know what I'm saying? And if they are connected, then it seems like Mew is the bad guy. He's sort of painted himself the bad guy in order to protect Golf. But in the background, Golf knows what's going on. He knows everything. And while it may be with this other person all the time, behind the scenes it's all okay between them because he's being informed enough to know okay with it for now. He's a mess. I mean, nobody's perfect, but Golf is pretty chill and not on SM, opposite of Mew, who lets everybody know everything and his emotions get the better of him. I think he's getting better at that, though. Have you noticed? There's been no outbursts. And, you know, especially this month, yeah, keeping it cool and just sticking with business more than anything else, I think. Not compatible. Really? You don't think they're compatible? Well, I have to say a lot of people disagree with you there. Hello. I wasn't even paying attention to all these coincidences. I was more worried about the Golf situation that happened and stupid millions joining in the hate. You mean the thing about Pavel? That's a whole other story, and you know, I tried to say what I thought about all that in my group, but yeah, it's not even worth it. We all have different feelings about that, about why it started, about who started the fan war, about, you know, whether who was in the right, who was in the wrong, etc. I just think it was a small drama made into a big deal in the end. You know, anyway. Alright guys, So I'll get on with the reading. So we're checking in for MewGulf today for the month of March. So starting with Mew as always, how is Mew Superset currently feeling towards Gulf? Oh, didn't see that. Did you guys see that? I don't know. Oh, a flip. I'll ask again before I look. How is Mew Superset currently feeling towards Gulf Kanawat? Okay, there's one card flipped. And let's get at least 2 more cards, please, into it. How is Mew Superset currently feeling towards Gulf Kanawat? A bit messy today. How is Mew Superset currently feeling towards Gulf Kanawat? And again, guys, I'll just remind you, we are still in Mercury. So, whatever is said on this live, just, be careful. Be careful what you let yourself think and when you jump to conclusions, etc. Because there are this month. I also think it's interesting that we got the tattoo revealed in this month. That's why I was saying, I think it's very unlikely, as much as we all, straight away jump to that conclusion and we're able to there, I think it's very unlikely that Mew was thinking that when he chose his design. You're probably going to hear something, since he called it twin stars, he's going to try and link it to the other. You watch. He'll come up with some believable, for most people in the world, reason does represent him until he'll find a way. Not out of need so much, but more, sorry, that's the right, not out of want, but more out of need. 5 of Swords, and another one, please. One more card, please, into it. How is Mew Superset currently feeling about Gulf Kanawat? At least one more card, please, into it. We always work with at least 3 cards. Okay. Alright. Let's put that aside for now. So, we got Queen of Cups, 5 of Swords, and 9 of Wands. Okay, so let's get right into it here. I'll get the card up. So, Queen of Cups first. Queen of Cups is a Pisces card, also Gemini. Compassion, comfort, calm, nurturing, healing, emotionally stable, intuitive, and caring. Intuitive. Been talking about intuition a lot, haven't I? And what does it say on here? Oh, hang on, guys. That is in reverse, isn't it? Oops, reverse. Inner feelings, self-care, self-love, codependency, and insecurity. Oh, well, that's a different story, isn't it? And on this card, the Queen of Cups is a Scorpio as well. Just to mention that. So Pisces and Scorpio. We're working with the water side of both Mew and Gulf when we look at this card, basically, as a whole. And if it's in reverse, so on this card, Queen of Cups, emotional imbalance is what it, fostering codependency, irrational, melancholic, gullible, extremes, wallowing, and imbalance. And this is how he's feeling towards Gulf. Well, melancholic could be something. Gullible extremes. Not sure what that's referring to exactly. Wallowing in imbalance. Inner feelings I'm not so sure about the codependency. I'm not so sure about the codependency and insecurity part of this card, though. Unless he's having one of those moments where he's feeling insecure about his life and future with golf, perhaps. If it's all, you know, connected in the background, or if he's considering going that way again. But the inner feelings, self-care and self-love, that agrees with what we got in the monthly portrait. So I'm sort of led to go more that way with this card. So maybe the imbalanced, wallowing in imbalanced, and inner feelings, self-love and self-care. So it's like Mew's sort of really focusing, when it comes to him and golf, he's focusing on what he's feeling inside and how he's being affected by those feelings, whatever the situation is with him and golf. Even if he wasn't talking to golf, it could be like this, that perhaps all these memories being brought up by Waanjai are suddenly affecting him in a different way, for example. Let's go to the other cards too, though, because they will also help define why that card might have been there. Five of Swords is the next card. And Five of Swords, now this is the one I'm not sure. I think this is not in reverse. I think this is upright, but I'll check. Five of Swords. Yeah, no, that's reverse. Reverse is actually positive for this card. That's why I was saying, yeah, I think this is upright. So Five of Swords upright. Conflict, disagreements, competition, defeat, winning at all costs, sneakiness, bullies, theft, abusive relationships. And on this card it says, interesting, this card for Five of Swords says, not by the rules. My goodness, that really relates to Mew, I think. Not by the rules. Self-sacrificing, plot twist, and abusive. Again, this card is Aquarius completely. Like, it doesn't matter what deck you're in, this is an Aquarius card. So maybe this is more about what he thinks about himself regarding golf. If he's feeling this way with the Queen of Cups, you know, wallowing, imbalanced, inner feelings, etc., maybe he's having a moment of feeling defeated. Or a moment of wanting to or it could even be plot twist. Could be, we planned this, but I think I'm going to change it up. Could be that. Winning at all costs. This card comes up a lot. So winning at all costs could be, and sneakiness could be the side of how Mew keeps saying one thing, but we keep seeing signs for it to be another sort of thing. It could be that too. Like he's determined to keep this show on go, this thing with Tool being perceived, until he figures out no joke, foolproof way to get out of it. That's also what I'm getting here. Alright, and then the last card was Nine of Wands. Is that the too hard? No. Nine of Wands is courage, resilience, boundaries, last stand, gearing up for worse, pessimism, and weary. And it's a Sagittarius card. So regarding golf, if we go back to this card of self-sacrificing, plot twist, defeated, and this one about inner feelings, how he's really feeling, self-love, and what was the other point? Self-love, inner feelings, I can't remember. But anyway, as a whole, that's what Mew is doing. Now, when we went into the monthly portrait, we said that Mew's probably going to be doing a lot of thinking, a lot of meditation, a lot of self-reflecting, a lot of going deep within and listening to his inner feelings, inner child. This sounds exactly like that to me. But perhaps more than positive, he's allowing himself, This is why I don't think still that Mew is fully healed from his burnout. He still seems to be his worst enemy. When given the opportunity to really, be just with himself and really think hard about things, he tends to, the cards seem to say that he tends to go the negative way more than the positive. So it's possible that even though he does need to do this thinking, he's having a moment of doubt, a moment of uncertainty. He could be thinking in his head, should I just go ahead with what's happening, the self-sacrifice way, or should I throw in the plot twist and go the way I want to? Yeah, that's almost like a Five of Swords for me is almost like he's at a crossroads. It's that card. Do I go this way or do I go that way? Do I self-sacrifice or do I go ahead with what I want to do and throw this plot twist at the world? Test of Faith, Nine of Wands. So on this card for the Nine of Wands, it says courage, boundaries, grit, determination, faith, endurance, holding the line, persistence, and maintain. So this Nine of Wands could be that while he's with himself, me, myself, and I, and doing active, he's also got to have the courage and endurance to still keep seeing the bigger picture, to look ahead, keep his eyes on the prize sort of thing as well regarding the future he wants with golf. Okay, now I'll turn these round for you guys. Maybe, I think I might, I don't know. I've got more cards to confirm anyway, but, or clarify anyway. I think I might try and pull 2 more cards, just because these 3 cards have been a little bit hard to get off, get straight away. And that could be very well likely because of Mercury retrograde, guys. But I'm going to try and get 2 more cards just to be sure. Okay, so hello again, Intuit. Can you please give me at least 2 more cards of how Mew Superset is currently feeling towards Golf Kanawat? Okay, 1. And another, please, Intuit. 1 more card. How is Mew Superset currently feeling towards Golf Kanawat? Okay, so we got Temperance. Hang on, how did I just did that, didn't I? So it, like that. 6 of Swords. Okay, so the 2 cards we got here are positive now, on top of all what we just said. Temperance is always, about harmony, tranquility, patience, being reasonable in discussion, things like that. And then we got 6 of Swords. Temperance is a Sagittarius, western side of things for Golf here, and Aquarius is Six of Swords, which is Mew's tie sign. Now Temperance, let me get Temperance. Straight away, before even looking at the card, I'm getting like, while Mew is feeling this way towards Golf, when he's by himself, it's quickly sort of taken care of and put back in balance and harmony when he possibly talks to Golf or thinks about him in a different way. I'm not sure. Hang on. As I said, Sagittarius card. Balance, harmony, moderation, patience, being sensible, purpose, finding meaning. So purpose and finding meaning, even, it could be that, you know, Mew he knows he's thinking this way for a reason. He knows he's being tested, perhaps, with this a test of faith. So even though he may at times go there with the negativity, he can sort of bring himself back, or able to bring him back to that balanced, peaceful feeling of better times ahead, because that's what Six of Swords says here. Better times ahead. Hang on, I'll do one card, though I'm still in Temperance. So yeah, balance, harmony. What's this saying? Union of opposites, moderation, purposeful harmony, tranquility, patience, alchemy, balance, and peace. Interesting that somebody just said in the comments that they don't think they're compatible. Union of opposites, or opposites attract, in other words, with that card. Could be, you know, saying, well, in some ways, but in many ways they are. Something like that. And then let's go to Six of Swords. We've had this card a lot, so you probably remember it anyway. The calm waters and the rough waters, moving on. Well, in this case, with this card, it says better times ahead. So at least it's not trouble ahead when it comes to Golf. It's better times ahead. And it says tranquility, overcoming hardship, conflicts resolved, becoming stable, restoration, and peace. And on this card it says transition, change, leaving behind, releasing baggage, moving on. So because I'm using this deck, I'm thinking, as I said, Mew may start with the negative feelings, but he ends with the positive feelings. He ends with the hope for the future. He ends with the faith in Golf. And it doesn't have to be, you know, lovers related. It could just be even that he knows that in the end things will work out for him to reunite with Golf in some form. It could be that too. I'll move these so they face you the right way then. Okay, and to get some clarification, we will use Aquarius since we're talking about Golf. Let's take these cards. Okay. Alright, so hello there, Aquarius. Can you please clarify for us what this Queen of Cups is about, for how Mew Superset is currently feeling towards Golf Kanawat this month, please? What is this Queen of Cups? It's actually in reverse. What is this Queen of Cups in reverse about, please, Aquarius? Can you tell us what this Queen of Cups in reverse? That almost felt like a flip, but I don't see anything flipped though. Anyway, we got one card fell. Okay, so what's this Queen of Cups in reverse about? Or the Hanged Man, also known as. So yeah, like I said, Queen of Cups. He's really stopping and thinking. He's with himself in his inner feelings right now. And the Hanged Woman says, new perspective, enlightenment, and liberated. Which is pretty similar to what it says on this card as well. But I'll get it anyway. And this is upright. So pause, surrender, letting go, new perspective, enlightenment, viewing things differently than before, deep insight, sacrifice, change, and release. So see, the Queen of Cups in reverse. It said self-sacrifice. We have sacrifice. Plot twist, viewing things differently than before, or enlightenment could be the plot twist. So yeah, there's many connections there with that card of being that way. So that's pretty spot on. What about the Five of Swords here? Five of Swords upright to Aquarius. Why did you pull this card for how he is currently feeling towards golf? This card is about conflict, winning at all costs, is this about conflicting feelings in his head perhaps? Knight of Pearls we have, which is Knight of Coins. Methodical, purposeful, and traditional. That makes sense, yeah. So what were we saying? Hostility, defeat, conflict, self-sacrificing, plot twist, abusive. So he could be thinking that way because of how methodical and, slow moving, because the Knight of Coins is the slowest knight. Usually it's depicted with a card. Hang on, let me bring it up actually. Knight of Coins. Usually the card is depicted with a knight that isn't really moving or going anywhere. If you see that card there, he's just sitting there. He's just sitting on the horse, parked in one spot. He's not going anywhere. And as it says here, hard work, productivity, routine, conservation, efficiency, and responsibility. So self-sacrifice and plot twist, defeat, conflict, hostility. That card coming up in the thoughts in his head right now is because of the difficult situation he's in. And he's only thinking, should I, like I said earlier, self-sacrifice, should I go on with this and just self-sacrifice and protect golf by, choosing otherwise, or should I go ahead and throw this plot twist at the world and follow my heart? That's kind of where he's at this point in his mind, or this month. But no, we said currently how he's feeling, so right now, that's where he's at. He's still at a crossroads. He's still deciding, what should he do? But I think in the end, because of these cards, he ends up thinking, no, I'm going to do the right. But let's confirm. So, Nine of Wands. Why did the Nine of Wands come up for how Mew Superset is currently feeling for Golf What Aquarius? Please give us a card to clarify this Nine of Wands. Hard work, having faith, persistence, endurance, determination, etc. Why is me pulling this card for golf? So obviously he was having some negative thoughts at the beginnings, but now he's starting to go positive. And why is that? We've got the World and the Hermit. Okay, so he's starting to think positive about how things will turn out regarding him and golf. The Hermit, introspection, contemplation, and soul searching. And the World, a new cycle, objectivity, authenticity. So, first of all, the Hermit. Now, before I even pull the card up, the Hermit is a Virgo. So there steps in T, basically. But it doesn't necessarily mean He's choosing him though, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Where's Hermit? Alright, so the Hermit. Soul-searching, introspection, contemplation, wisdom, truth-seeking, being alone, independence, inner guidance, meditation, consciousness. Again, agrees with what we've already been talking about Mew going deep within, listening to his inner child, etc. And as for this card being Virgo, I'll remind you all again that it's like the Aquarius star is in this lantern. So Mew could be feeling a bit trapped in the current situation. This could be Mew here in this lantern, Tool holding him up to the world, so to speak, and he's sort of stuck because everybody can see him in that stuck situation. But then we have the World here, a new cycle, objectivity and authenticity. A new cycle makes me think that he's realizing that, you know, he is in a cycle, possibly a karmic cycle, and it is going to end and a new one is going to start. So, based on what he decides, of course. But anyway, let me get the World up first. Where are you, World? Here we are. Another thing with the World, see this red? This is, I like to think of this red as like the red thread. And it's a fixed card, meaning only fixed signs relate to this card. So Tool is not a fixed sign. He's not here. The fixed signs are Aquarius and Scorpio, which is both Mew and Gulf. However, it is an Earth card, so Tool may go to that card that way, but anyway, upright, completion, accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, travel, celebration of life, arriving. So Mew might start feeling positive and determined, feel like he needs to persist with the plan and endure this cycle he's going through, because better times ahead if we jump to this one. And, you know, the harmony he feels with Gulf, regarding Gulf, union of opposites. Temperance in some decks can also point to, like, divine coupling. And then the World here, a new cycle, objectivity, authenticity. Could just be that Mew knows he's meant to be with Gulf, and that their time will come. More or less. Okay, and then let's get clarification for Temperance. What is this Temperance card about? Was I right about it? This is the turning point for Mew, or that is the turning point for Mew, the Knight of Wands, and then he starts thinking very positive and starts believing in faith again. Sorry, believing in destiny again, faith in the universe again. Is this Gulf possibly stepping in and reassuring him that things are going to be okay, perhaps? And that there are better times ahead? What is this Temperance card here for, please? Aquarius? This Temperance card here for how Mew Superset is currently feeling towards Gulf Kanawat. Strength, yeah. See, like I just said, Gulf is the one. Gulf is the one that gives Mew strength to carry on. Right there. So strength, courage, valor, and fortitude. Yep. And the Strength card, in this deck, it's represented by Siberian tigers. There's 2 of them on there, which is interesting. But on a normal card, it's represented by a lion, which is still a big cat. And I'm just, you know, the Waanjai me straight away links to I ate a big cat, yes. Okay, so cat here is the lion. Another thing about this card, 8, infinity symbol, is also included in this. And it's a fire card, which means it could be related to Sagittarius on Golf. And this card says courage, passion, subtle power, persuasion, influence, inner strength, focus, and compassion. So yeah, if, let's say this is me, myself, and I up to 9 of Wands. About things, or maybe not even consult, but he talks to Golf. Or he thinks of Golf if he's not talking to Golf. And then just that thought of Golf or that little conversation with Golf brings him right back to balanced thinking. Brings his determination to get through this back. Gentle persuasion. Golf gently persuades Mew to carry on.